Good day everyone, I welcome you all to Shitu's Mathematics class. Before the commencement of today's lecture, I urge every one of you should consider subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the subscribe button, hit the bell to get the notifications anytime I drop my new videos. So today, we want to be talking about word problem leading to quadratic equation. So now before we can say anything or we solve the problem you have on the board, when we say word problem is a very important aspect of mathematics that needs the reasoning, understand, of so-called the students before they can actually bring about the simplicity in it. So now word problem is a mathematical problem that is given in English statement. So your understanding of that statement is what you now bring to mathematical term. I'm getting it now. So to form an equation, so from there the equation you arrived at, you now try to solve it. Are you getting it? So that is all about word problem. So now the understanding of the statement is very, very important here. If you miss it, definitely there's no how you can get the accurate answer. So now let's look at this one on the board. So as small it is as it is actually something that you need to think, you understand? So first of all, is there word problem related to quadratic equation? Actually, yes, and we know that in quadratic equation we only have a variable, but that variable is having two distinct values. At times they can have equal, they can have, you understand? But what we know that it always have two values, understand? So now definitely for these ones to be forming an equation, we must arrive at what? We must arrive at quadratic equation. Actually, saying this question now, they said the sum of two numbers is 26 and their product is 160. So they are talking of two numbers here. So actually, when they did two numbers, so we can say let the number be x and the other one be y. But we make sure that we write which one we want to use, whichever way we want to do it. Understand? So is either we write the first and the second in terms of x, or you write the first and second in terms of the second variable, because we must not have two variables to form us in that equation. Are you getting it now? So now let's solve this solution. I want you to follow me and listen attentively. So now from here, so they said the sum of, firstly write, are you getting it? What we are going to do first write the equation that connect the two numbers together. Okay, let's say we want the two numbers to be x and y. So equation that connect them together, that is that x plus y equals to that. The sum of two numbers is what? Is 26. So you can say let the first number be x and the second number be what? Be y. Are you getting it now? So what I'm trying to say is, if you let the first number be x, are you getting it, and the second number be y, you can see that we are having two variables here now. So it's either you write this one in terms of y, or you write this one in terms of x. So now if I want to write y in terms of x now, I get it. So my y can as well be written as, you now come back to this law that connected. So if you want to know what is your y here, you can see that you make y the subject of formula in terms of x, which means y will be equals to you sending this x to this side. I guess that is collect the right hand, or subtracting x from the both sides, so we'll be having 26 minus x. Therefore, my y, which happen to be the second number, is what same thing as 26 minus x. You can see that I have the first number to be x and the second number to be 26 minus x. So now the sum of two numbers is 26 and their product is 160. So these are the what you can see, x and y, and y is same thing as 26 minus x in terms of what, in terms of x. Are you getting what I'm doing now? So now the next thing is the product. Their product will be, their product will now be x multiplied by 26 minus x equals to what? Equals to 160. Can you see that? So that is our equation. So now we now try to clear the bracket, that is, you open the bracket. So what are we going to have? This one multiplied by this, we have what? We have 26x. This times this, we have minus x squared equals to 160. So now from here, what's the next thing to do? You can see that the coefficient of x squared here is what? Is the coefficient of x squared is negative. You can see that is minus 1. So you try to rewrite this equation so that you have the coefficient of x squared to be 1. So if you want the coefficient of x squared to be 1, definitely you multiply through. I get it. You multiply this equation by minus what? Minus 1. So if you multiply that equation by minus 1, you can see that, okay, you can see that I have minus 26x, that is minus 1 times this, we have minus 26, minus 1 times minus x squared, we have minus times minus, we have plus x squared equals to minus 160. That is minus 1 times 160 will give us minus 160. Are you getting it now? So from there now, so I can rearrange this equation whereby this x squared will become what will be our first term. So I have what? I have x squared, and this one should follow. Are you getting it? Then let me bring this one to this side. Are you getting it? That is, I want to add what? 160 to both sides. So or taking this to the other side. So we have plus 160 equals to what? Equals to 0. Are you getting it now? You can see that this is what? This is a real form of quadratic equation in terms of what? In terms of x. Are you getting it now? So we are now going to use factorization method here. So now if factorization method will be stressful for you, are you getting it? Before you can test run which factors you use, so it is advisable you use the other methods of solving quadratic equation, maybe by quadratic formula, or use what? Or use completely the square method, so that you go straight without delaying. So now, but actually factorization method can be applied here. So now you can see that 10 times 60 will give me 160. Are you getting it now? So now minus 10 times minus 60 will actually give me what? It actually give me 160. But minus 10 plus, or minus 10 minus 60 will give me what? Will give me minus what? Minus 10 minus, so not 16, sorry. So minus 10 times 16, I mean 16, I give me 160. So now you can see that minus 10 minus 16 actually give me this. So I can have it to be x squared minus 10x, then minus what? 16x plus 60, 160 equals to 0. Can you see that now? So now try to group this into 2. You group this into 2. What we did here, you can see that minus 10x minus 16x gives me minus 20x, or minus 10x multiplied by minus 16x will give me 160. So now from here, what is common here? X is common. Bring it out. So remain was x inside minus 10. It's because we've already brought out the x minus what is common here. So I have my 16 to be common factor, remaining x 10 minus 10. I getting it equals to 0. So now from there you can see that we have common factor here. So the common factor, we try to bring it out. I getting it. Remaining what's here? X. Remaining what's here? Minus 16. I getting it now. So we can now write this one also in this form. So we have equals to what? Equals to 0. I getting it now. So it is equals to 0. So from here now, for this multiplied by this be equals to 0, I can have my x minus 10 to be equals to 0, or x minus 16 to be equals to what? To be equals to 0. Do you get that now? So from there, so what is the next thing to do? The next thing to do is to, see, we have x minus what? X minus 10. Then we have x minus what? X minus 16. So if 10 go to this side, I get this. So I am going to have what? I'm going to have my, so I want to come here. I'm going to have my x to be equals to 10, or if minus 16 goes to the other side, or 16, everything, I have x to be equals to 10 or what? Or 16. Are you getting it now? So now those are the two values of x. Are you getting it? That's when we had them together. So we have what? We have 26, that is 10 plus 16, we have 26, and their product, when you multiply them, so we have what? We have 160. So that is that about. So I will like to solve like 3 questions under this word problem related to quadratic equation. So now this video is containing the first one. So in the next video that I'll be dropping, so I will drop the second one. If possible, I can merge the 2 questions together, but if it is not, so I will do it the second one, then in the next video I get it. So we do the third one, and we are done about what problem leading to quadratic equation. So if you